I was the last of the Donnie Coy children that came about.
Proteges.
What's that?
Donnie Coy proteges.
All right, I'll take that. Yeah, protege. Because I mean, when I first met Donnie and started going to some the Hooters open mic, the first thing Donnie noticed about me is that I had a car. So he's like, hey, this guy can drive me places and he doesn't drink much, so that's fantastic. He had an encyclopedic knowledge of sports, and so we had some great conversations on the way there. But I think the first time that I ever drove him anywhere, I was afraid. I thought this is a good gig. I'm going to get to work with Donnie and meet a lot of good people and good comics. I'm going to learn really fast. And I almost got fired the very first time I drove him. One, because I wouldn't let him piss in my car. He actually asked to, and I'm like, no, I'll just pull over. So we pulled over, and it was just before, and the thing was, he couldn't even wait till we got to the Mississauga Yuck Yucks. We were about 200 meters away. I pulled in behind this, what looked like a closed-off area, and he went out into the parking lot to take a piss, and then about 12 cars drove in and got to watch Donnie Coy take a leak. Got back in the car, and then we drove there, and as naive as I was, I thought that this Pepsi bottle that he had was just a Pepsi bottle. And so when we came out of after the show was done, and we were hitting Tim Hortons, I was like throwing stuff into the trash bin. I thought, oh, his pot will be flat by now. So I threw it out, and he was just looking at me horrified. I thought he was going to make me go into the trash and get it. But I didn't, but he still let me drive after that. And I guess the one story, because I love the guy and I'm still visiting him regularly, and just until he passed away. But the one thing I remember is I got to meet, again, it was actually at the Vaughan Yuck Yucks. I got to meet my sports idol, you might guess by my mustache, it was Wendell Clark's. They were adjacent to the Wendell Clark's up there. And Donnie's like, he comes up to me, he's like, come here. And I'm like, what? And he goes, Wendell Clark's in the Wendell Clark's. And I'm like, you know, he was pretty drunk. Maybe he sees another guy that looks like Wendell Clark. We go there, sure enough, it's Wendell Clark. And I'm thinking, I'm a little nervous, you know, he's kind of just sitting there, and I thought, I don't want to really bug him, but I just went up to him and I was like, you know, hey, I don't want to bug you, I know you're, you know, like, you know, you're just by yourself watching the TV here, but, you know, I mean, I love you, I just want to say, you know, I love watching you when you played hockey. And he was very engaging. Suddenly he was just talking, and all of a sudden, Donnie gets in the conversation. If you ever had a conversation with Donnie when he was drunk, you know that you don't get a lot of words in. And he's cutting Wendell Clark off every time now that Wendell Clark's, and I'm watching Wendell Clark go from affable to getting upset. And I'm thinking, am I going to get beat up by Wendell Clark tonight? That was my one big fear. But as it turned out, you know, Donnie actually wandered off because he had to do his set, and I actually had a very good conversation with Wendell Clark. But I just want to say that I loved every time I got to go and do comedy with him. I learned every single time something new and got to meet a lot of terrific people. And thank you all for coming here tonight.
Wendell didn't pull Donnie's sleeveless turtleneck over his head.